Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth. If you smell, no, I'm just playing. Hey, yo, let's get right into it. Stocks and coffee for this week. What's going on in the stock market this week? This week is February 17th. We have President's Day on Monday. Markets are closed, but yeah, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so stocks and coffee with K5 and Fit to Flourish. I always say that because guess what? We're first team investing. First team investing. We got the best Discord in the world. Feel free to join. Link in the bio. But I'm not one of those people who's like, join the Discord. I want 1,000 million people. I don't need your money. All right. The only reason we charge in the Discord, it used to be free. The only reason we charge now is because people only take things seriously if they pay for it. So it used to be like a ton of people in there, and everybody was like fake traders and like just not taking anything serious, and we were giving a lot of gems, but no one was like showing up, and it was like they're not motivated to do good. So that's the only reason we charge. We keep a small group. It's a very small group. We have friends, family, it's a ton of good people, and we're getting to the shmoney, okay? And I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it pretty small. I'm not trying to say hey join, but if you're looking for like guidance and all that good stuff, you want these good master classes, I'm telling you, you're missing out right now. Anyways, Stocks and Coffee with K5 and Fit to Flourish. So the definition of greatness is inspiring the people next to you. All right. So that's what I aspire to do. That's what K5 aspires to do. Every day we're pretty much getting to it, becoming the best version of ourselves, and we're literally working out spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. We're getting up there. We're up there. We are up there. Okay. And we're just trying to inspire the next generation of young men, young women. All right. But yeah, we're the best team in the world. Like I said, Discord is insane. But enough of that. Let's take a look at a week in review. So what did we do in the Discord? So we go live every morning. This week was pretty ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. I give a lot of these plays away for free on TikTok as well, but you don't get the live trades. Okay, so our day trades are crazy. And swing trades. So anyways, we can review. So we had NVIDIA calls, so we swung NVIDIA calls. I have a couple people in there still holding on to these swings, but we mentioned these swing calls back at 116.90. NVIDIA is currently trading at 138. Just know people are making money. All right, and we've been day trading NVIDIA as well. We got IWM puts. We took INTC calls called out by K5. He called this out before, like right at the perfect time. It was ridiculous. It went over 100%. PLTR shorts, K5 calling out the shorts at a perfect timing. And PLTR is still back on the way up, but the day that the short opportunity came, he called it out like money. We had Meta calls, SPY calls, Tesla puts. Tesla puts went absolutely nuts, okay? Undo that, bad boy. And then we had Apple calls. We had APP puts that went crazy. They went over like 500% in one day. And then we had QQQ calls. Right now in the market, there's a lot of volatility, which is equivalent to opportunity. So we trade options primarily. So the more volatility there is in the markets, the better it is, and more opportunity there is going to be to trade options. Okay, you don't trade options all the time. You trade it when there's opportunity because they're wasting assets. Okay. All right, so in terms of earnings, what happened this week with earnings? So we had SMCI, the scam company, I like to call them. But anyways, SMCI had a big EPS miss and miss on revenue, so earnings per share and revenue miss. But guess what? They still, Supermicro to file delayed annual report by February deadline. So they said that they're going to file their 10K report. They've been saying this for like a year now. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay, so that's why I call them the biggest scammer of all time. The maker of server and computer products said after the bell on Tuesday that heavy adoption of its direct liquid cooling technology in data centers over the next 12 months should pave the way for $40 billion in revenue for the fiscal year that ends halfway through calendar 2026. So basically they're saying they should make a lot of money. Okay, they're going to make a lot of money, and investors are like, oh shit, they're going to make a lot of money. Well, F that 10K report. They're saying they're going to make a lot of money. Let's trust them, even though they've done this fraud thingy twice. This is ridiculous. I don't get it. Whatever. But the equity actually ended up going up crazy. So the equity almost doubled, almost went 100% in the weeks leading up to earnings and the couple days after earnings this week. But anyways, analysts polled by FactSet have been projecting 29.18 billion in revenue for the fiscal year. But the chief Chief Executive Charles Liang said 40 billion target may prove to be conservative. So basically, by beating analysts' expectations by almost 50%, this is huge. Okay, especially with them saying that they have a huge demand for their products. So that's really what's driving the stock up, is their hype. Okay, and that's what the market's all about these days with crypto, Tesla, Nvidia. It's all about hype. All right. These stocks are being priced in way too high. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's just the new age of investing. But it's good. More money in the markets, more money for me and you. All right. Anyways, what happened to Robinhood? So a lot of people trade on Robinhood. So Robinhood had a really good beat on EPS and revenue, and this was really driven by them tapping into the crypto boom. So everyone's talking about crypto, cryptocurrency. You're seeing these meme coins being made, and everyone's wanting to become a millionaire overnight. You're seeing a couple people becoming millionaires overnight. It's being shown on social media, and everyone thinks that they can do it too. But it's not the truth. It's just like, it's pretty much just luck. Okay. And you're seeing the one person who got lucky, and then it just kind of drives traffic to these brokers. And I really think that some of these brokers have a lot of money backing some of these videos on these social media websites, because it drives people to their platform. But I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want FBI to raid me, CIA. Anyways, the Hood equity increased by 15%. So the shares increased by 15%. And the results benefited substantially from the crypto trading boom. So there's a higher net interest revenues and a jump in gold subscribers. So just a ton of good stuff coming to, a lot of users coming to Robinhood, especially because there's a commission-free model when it comes to crypto, which you're not seeing on some of the other brokers and platforms. So Hood is doing a good job there, right? And then in terms of Coin, so Coin, of course, this is another platform, Coinbase. They destroyed EPS and revenue expectations, and Q4 beat was largely due to Trump and also the massive influx in interest in crypto. So kind of the same story for Robinhood. Robinhood's a household name that's been kind of really well known since the COVID era. And it's an easy platform to download and to trade on immediately. And this whole Trump thing and crypto craze is causing a drive to these platforms. All right. And then in terms of Reddit is where a lot of people heard about the GameStop craze. So all of this kind of ties in together. All these companies reporting earnings this week, they kind of tied in together. But they had a 50% pre-earnings run up. I'm talking about the equity, like shares. That's crazy. And they had a big beat on EPS and a slight beat on revenue, but the equity slipped. So the equity actually sold off a little bit after earnings because they have a slower than expected user growth. So whenever you're looking at platforms that have, like Netflix and things like this, that have subscription-based services, you want to see that their user growth is increasing. Okay, you want to see it increasing dramatically, because that's how they're making their money. All right. So if they're not doing that, they're gonna have to kind of make a model of increasing how much it costs to be on their platform, to be a user. Okay, in order to make some type of revenue. So if you're not growing in users, you're gonna have to do something else. All right, or get better partnerships in terms of ads. All right. So DKNG, DraftKings. So this is where people make sports bet. Sports betting is huge. Crypto is huge right now. Just anything to do with quick, fast money is becoming pretty big, as we're getting a larger discrepancy between the rich and the poor. And this really started with COVID. But anything that's like fast money, it's bad, because uneducated poor people are putting their hard earned money into these things and losing more money, and that money is going to the educated rich. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, there's slight miss on EPS and revenue, increase in average monthly users of 36% year over year, really good, and then increase their outlook for midterm revenue 2025. So really good stuff coming out of DraftKings there. All right, economic data from this week. So this past week, we saw CPI and PPI came in higher than expected. CPI on Tuesday, I believe it was. CPI, well, whatever day it was. But after that print, early morning, we saw a massive dip in the markets. And then all of a sudden, that dip got bought back up. So pretty much every dip that we see pre-market or overnight, every dip has been getting bought back up. And this has been happening for the past 3-4 weeks, this entire year really, we saw Trump announce tariffs, and then we saw these huge dips to the downside, and those dips got bought back up immediately every morning. So keep that in mind. So if you see a dip, expect it to get bought back up. All right. And then initial jobless claims came in lower than expected, which was really good. And that came out the same day as PPI. So that kind of overtook the PPI data. And the market was ripping on, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. But initial jobless claims came in lower, which was really good. It came in lower significantly, by a significant amount. All right. And then related news and buzz this week. So Monday, 2/17, keep in mind that the stock and bond markets are closed. All right. Stock and bond markets are closed. Why? It is a President's Day. All right. So, President's Day. So, also keep in mind GameStop might want to buy Bitcoin and act like MicroStrategy. So this is pretty big because GameStop is already losing a ton of money, and it would make sense to purchase crypto. If crypto is going to be the future, because MicroStrategy positioned themselves as the the company with the largest holding of crypto or Bitcoin in the world, which has worked out really well because they started investing really early, and it's driven their share price and their revenue up dramatically. Now GameStop may be doing this a little bit too late, and it might not even help them at all at this point. So if they do this, it's a gamble. It's a gamble, but at the same time, they have nothing else to lose, right? So it'd be interesting if they end up buying Bitcoin like MicroStrategy. There are rumors. And then Intel, so INTC is ripping on pretty good revenue, and they're also earnings, and then they had some partnerships in the works, and then JD Vance is stating that AI chips are going to be made in the U.S., which would benefit INTC, all right? And then Coinbase Global. So Coinbase is going to be joining Aston Martin Aramco F1 team as its exclusive crypto partner. This is pretty big for Coin. All right, pretty big for Coin. And we could see somewhat of an upward movement. Not too much off. Never mind. Not off of this news, but this is pretty cool. All right. AMD is working with CEA to advance AI tech. So AMD hit a low of $108 this week, and it's going to be making a move to the upside. I think that $108 is like their low. If it breaks that, it's going to see 90, and it's cooked. But I think this should be where AMD is turning around. I think it's a good area to pick up the equity. So to buy shares of AMD, we could see a 50% increase this year. Okay. Alrighty. And then ARM secured Meta as their first customer for an ambitious new chip project. So we saw that ARM actually ripped 10 points. So it ripped up $10. So it went from 154 all the way to 160. It was like all the way up to 168 actually in 5 minutes on Thursday afternoon trading session. All right. And then literally the next day, it was announced that NVIDIA lowered its stake in ARM by 44%. And then ARM dropped right back to 154 the next day. And they sold their shares in SoundHound. Okay. So that actually caused SoundHound to sell off on Friday. Okay. So Friday, ARM and SoundHound kind of sold off. NVIDIA continued to make its way to the upside. But they lowered their stake in ARM and then sold shares in SoundHound. And that's kind of interesting because NVIDIA and ARM are close partners, and then ARM, a lot of pretty much their entire executive board and their whole leadership is all from NVIDIA. They've all worked in NVIDIA, and I've done a video covering ARM extensively. And then last but not least, Tesla. So why is Tesla dropping? So Tesla in January, their sales dropped 33%. Their China EV sales are falling, and then the equity is still pretty much up 100% in 4 months. And after this massive move back to the downside to the 325 level, it's going to be making a move back up. So keep that in mind. And then keep in mind too, there's still a ton of stuff coming from Tesla. So Tesla still has a lot of things that can drive it up. But unless Tesla announces things, it's usually just going to fall until they say, oh, we have this, oh, we have that. So it's a hype stock. But they announced a while ago that Switzerland is going to allow Tesla FSD tech to be used on the roads in March this year. So that's coming really soon, just in a couple of weeks. And then keep in mind, NVIDIA in March is going to be announcing some new upgrades to their Blackwell GPUs. And And yeah, and then there keep in mind there's still tariffs. Tariffs are delayed right now and paused until April, but there's still tariff stuff going on. So pay attention to any news coming out from that. All right. And then in terms of earnings this week, major earnings, Etsy is going to be a pretty good one. Carvana, it's going to be another pretty decent one. We have Walmart, Alibaba, and then we also have Baidu this week. So and then Square and Rivian as well. So not too crazy. Probably like six stocks you can probably do some earnings plays on. Not too crazy, but the following week is going to be pretty insane. So keep that in mind. Let's see in here. All right, and then for economic data, markets are closed on Monday. Markets closed on Monday, and then Tuesday we're just gonna have a ton of Fed speakers, and then Wednesday we have housing starts, and 2 p.m. is FOMC meeting minutes. This is always important. Right at 2 p.m. we could see some volatility in the market. And then Thursday, we have initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's an hour before the market opens. And again, we have some Fed speakers. And then on Friday, we have consumer sentiment. This is the final print for consumer sentiment, 10 a.m. So potentially could impact the market, but not necessarily. I don't think it'll have any such impact. I think initial jobless claims for sure on Thursday. And then Wednesday, 2 p.m., FOMC meeting minutes. All right. And then we talked about potential long-term holds. These stocks are doing extremely well, except for AMD and Moderna are still at lows right now. But I still think that they're at levels that you might want to pick them up. Not too sure about Moderna. Well, Moderna still as well. Yeah. But these are pretty good stocks to pick up right now. All right. And then in terms of our watch list for this week, Meta might hit 800 APP. Gonna look for that to hold the $500 level. IWM, Nvidia, Microsoft, QQQ, and Apple. So that is all I have for you guys this week in terms of stocks and coffee. First Team Investing is your boy Mr. Fit to Flourish, and I'm out.